Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Gavin Cosgrave. I'm a graduating senior majoring in management information systems. And today for my honors thesis, I'm going to be talking about the Voices of Santa Clara podcast, which is a creative project that I've done throughout my time at Santa Clara. Just a quick overview. So I founded the podcast in October 2017 during my sophomore year, just for fun, because I noticed there were so many cool people on campus that students didn't normally have access to because of their narrow fields of study and involvements. And so I started the podcast to help educate, inspire, and connect the Santa Clara community to live out our values of competence, conscious, and compassion. And since then, I've published almost an episode every week. Just to give you an idea of what 90 episodes looks like, these are most of the guests that I've had on the show. I've kept a website up, voicesofsantaclara.com, where you can view all the guests and some shortened transcripts, as well as listen to those episodes. Just a few highlights of running the podcast. It won the second best college podcast in California at the California College Media Awards in 2018. It's been featured on the homepage of scu.edu, and it won the English department's 2018 Multimodal Prize. But most importantly, I've had the chance to talk to some really incredible people and share those stories with the community. I'm now going to touch on just a couple of the themes that come up often in the show. I try to interview a really wide range of guests to have a diverse set of perspectives, but there are some ideas that come up again and again. One of those is social entrepreneurship, which is a passion near and dear to my heart. I've worked with the Miller Center for Social Entrepreneurship on campus since my first year and got to interview people like the executive director, Thane Kreiner, and thinking about on the show, how can social enterprise make a difference in the world? Another is global engagement. I think talking to guests about travel experiences really broadened my perspective and contributed to me wanting to study abroad, which I did, as well as pursue a fellowship in India last summer. And Tanya Monsef runs the Global Fellows Program and is one example of a really incredible guest who spoke about the way that travel and global perspectives have shaped her life. Another theme is racial justice. This is Dr. Hazard, who's an ethnic studies professor, talking about education and how anyone, regardless of their race or level of privilege, can work towards racial justice. Another theme is ethical leadership. I talk to a lot of staff who are in prominent leadership positions, and I always want to know, how are they thinking about the impact of their work on the communities that they're working with, and how can students transition and be leaders both in their own lives and in their future careers. And then a final theme is visual and performing arts. An example is Kristen Kasanovich. This was one of my favorite conversations because she ties together dance and the climate crisis in really unique and creative ways. It's been really cool to learn from people who are, and to just be exposed to some of the incredible talent and ways that art can shape the human experience. Now I'm going to touch on a few of the key takeaways that I've had from the show and that hopefully listeners have as well. And the first is that a genuine desire to listen to other people's stories and learn from their perspectives is the first step to changing the world. I like to ask a question at the end of, what message would you send to every person in the United States? And it's been really cool to see the patterns in that answer, which so often revolve around listening to people with different perspectives and trying to achieve unity. A second takeaway is that good ideas and forward progress come from collaboration across disciplines. I think the diversity of disciplines and topics has been really important to the show and really important to my own curiosity and development. And it's really cool to see connections between two different areas of the world that you never thought could connect, but by asking questions and learning from a variety of perspectives, you can see new ideas that you didn't before. And then a final theme is that most careers are full of unexpected twists and turns, and that it's more important to discover who you want to be than decide what you want to do. As a graduating senior, it's been really encouraging to hear just how many guests didn't know what they wanted to do with their careers when they graduated college. And I think much more important than that, as guests have told me, is to reflect on your values, build a community, and be willing to experiment with different ways that you might live out those values in the world. I often get asked what's next, and fortunately, after I graduate, the podcast will continue. I have a team of 3 incredible first-year students, Darius, Antonio, and Malachi, and we're going to collaborate with the Santa Clara newspaper as well. Yeah, so thanks so much for listening. This has been a really fun project for me, and I appreciate you taking the time to learn more about it. Thanks.